wanted to go. What's up, Buck? I'm Doug.
And I'm Eric.
And this is a terribly seized Briggs Stratton engine. Here's the long and the short of it. I like to pick up rusty, dusty stuff on the side of the road, take it home, see if I can't fix it. This one, though, oh, buddy, she's too hard. She's stork. Yeah, she's sealed up tight. Usually, when you have one of these things and it says on the side of the road, hey, free, doesn't run, is the carburetor. You scoop the junk out and she's good to go. Anyway, I usually do these off camera because you don't need to see me rebuild 100 Briggs and Strat carbs, but I thought I might be interested. I know nothing about this engine. I don't know why it's stuck. I don't know if it's mechanically locked or if it's just seized in there, but let's figure it out and see if we can't get it running. I have been defeated by very, very few Briggs and Stratton engines in my career. Like, very few. I don't want to add this one to it. So, let's do a little diagnosis and figure out what's wrong with the old girl. Our first stop on a project like this is going to be to jimmy jam your spark plug out and see, does it look like it got hit with a ball peen hammer? Because if so, mechanical damage on a spark plug usually means there's going to be a bunch of confetti in the cylinder. I don't think that's the issue on this one, though. Verdict. Alrighty, so it is one of the dirtiest, but actually looks relatively new. Every time I show a spark plug, it's totally fuzzy. So let's see. Can you all see that? Definitely no mechanical damage. Time to move on to the next possible culprit. All right, here's the long and the short of it. I actually did check this oil when I first brought it home. I just forgot to film it for y'all, so that's how we made it this far in the video without checking it. And it did have oil. It didn't have a lot of oil. Not great. And it had the worst oil. I mean, as far as liquid dinosaurs go, there's really not much left there, but it is possible that it was just run so low on oil, and that's why she seized. Fingers crossed, because that kind of seized I can cure pretty darn quickly. Before we try to run it, if we try to run it, I will make sure to reapply nothing but the finest. Go back in your hole. Liquid dinosaurs.
So note that looked like it came off in chunks on your hand.
Dang near. I mean, it's pretty bad. It's basically tar at this one. I might be able to reseal the driveway with it. All right, now because of the angle, all of Zeus's lightning bolts aren't going to be able to get you all to see in there on the camera, but I can tell with this screwdriver, cylinder is seized darn close to top dead center, which is not a good sign. It strongly implies it got to the top and there was already something waiting for it, and there was a collision. They had an argument, and now everything is hooped. But we're going to carry on anyway. We're going to pull off the recoil here and just see if there's anything goofy looking up there. And if not, I think we're just going to spray a bunch of the good stuff down there. I got
Chief her up.
I got a darn near new can of PB Blaster, and we'll just let this thing eat overnight. 9 times out of 10, assuming there wasn't some kind of brawl up here between the piston and a piece of valve or something. I don't know. Let's figure it out. Alrighty, so we got the recoil off. We've got about, what is that? ½ inch of movement, and it does translate to the piston. I don't know if you can see the screwdriver down here, just barely. Look at the spark plug boot for reference. So what do you think, bud? Throw some of the good stuff in her?
Yeah, let's see if we maybe can work a little more loose.
All right, now for this to work properly, your lawnmower has to be real relaxed. So you want to get it in a nice, comfortable, relaxed, reclined position, get it some snacks, put its favorite TV show on, and then you can get to work. Getting to work in this case consists of trying to slurp some PB Blaster down the old throat hole there. There it is. So that's pretty well filled. We're gonna let her sit for a few minutes.
Actually, a good sign there is you can see air bubbles, so that means it's actually dripping down the sidewalls. So it's not like at a full rust point.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
It freed it up immediately. Almost all the way around. We're still hitting at the very top, but it will go all the way down now.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's coming back up. I think we have to pull the head off, honestly. All right, friends, well, there it is. You can see it. This is the intake valve. We got the head off, and the intake valve broke off, and it was sitting in there, and that's why we couldn't move it. Now, that's the bad news, but the good news is, save for a little dinger in the piston, this doesn't look that bad. The bore looks fine. It's not scored. You can see the head is really not that bad either. Most of this is just breaking up the carbon that was in there. So you need a new valve. That's about it. Oh, buddy Buck, I'll tell you what. I went ahead and fired up the Googleizer, got on the old interwebs there, and I was able to get a new intake valve and the various accoutrements to go with it for like 14 bucks. I figured I can't buy a new mower for 14 bucks, so we might as well try to fix this one. Step one will be jimmy jamming that bad valve out there. Then we'll slam dance this guy in. We'll see if we can't get her to bark to life. Additionally, we'll probably just take the bottom of the carb off and make sure there's not too much goop in there. But there's no reason this shouldn't run. As previously discussed, this is not like the head's all chewed up from the valve hitting it. That's just carbon being broken up. So I don't foresee any issues. Step one, let's get that old valve out of there. I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave the rockers right on, and we'll just adjust lash at the end. Now this all comes apart pretty easy. You can pop this little cap off and then pretty much compress the valve with your fingers. Slide that over. There we go. Our spring, our old retainer, which we're going to replace because why not? We have a new one. And our broken valve. Come on. With the seat right there. Oh, additionally, this has been stuck down for quite a while. You see all that rust on there? So that's why it was all seized up. That may have been why it broke. They let it sit this seized down, and then by the time they went to start it, it just broke. See, this valve guide wouldn't clicky clack over. So interesting. That's a result. That's probably why it was seized. We did already confirm that this one, very not seized, the exhaust valve. One interesting thing though, the valve seat they sent me is different. Wonder how big of an issue that's going to be. It's looking to fit, but it's definitely different. We're going to make it work. Amateur hour, friends. I was completely incorrect about the weird valve seal they sent me working. We're going to have to liberate and use the old one. I'm certainly not spending any more money. This one looks okay. It's a little chowdered. We may have a little blow by, but this thing was never going to run like brand new anyway. It's going to run good enough for government work, though. I'll tell you that much. Tappy tap tap. Now we can sneak the valve back up. And we are nearly there, friends. There we go. Spring-a-ling on there. Take the new retainer and the new cap. All right, before you ask, we're going to give this a shot with the old head gasket. If it runs, but the head gasket leaks, I may go get a new head gasket. But for now, we're going to spend as little as we can on this junkyard motor. Like I said, I have the rockers still on, but I have the lash adjusters totally loose so that it will allow for us to do this. Let's make sure that they're seated. Oop, I just stepped on the camera, my apologies. Slam dance some bolts down there. Bring in the reinforcements. Oh, just to get them snug. My goodness, if that didn't take a year and a day. I'm sure there are torque specs for these head bolts. I could not care less. It's got a ratty old head gasket. I don't think the least of our problems are going to be torque specs on the head bolts here. We'll do the old star routine. See, we can't give her the best opportunity for a win. There we go. Click. Click. So if you're trying to do this at home, you want to set your valves at top dead center, obviously, but make sure you're on the compression stroke. If you're at top dead center, and one of your arms or both your arms have, they're starting to go down a little bit, that's not the compression stroke, that's the exhaust stroke. So that was the exhaust stroke there. And now we're on compression, methinks. Yeah, we'll test this again, but find your top dead center right there. Okay, let's adjust some valves. So you gotta loosen this jam nut up here. I don't know if it's technically a jam nut or what, but it's like a T, might be a T10, I'm not even sure. And then it's a 5/16. I guess this is the jam nut. The jam nut's the 5/16 and the adjuster is whatever. I don't know. Get these down to where they're feeling tight. That's good. It's probably too good. Let's see, can we jam? That's the 5. I needed the 4. 4. Can we get a 3 under there? No, we cannot. Oh. Let me get a little tighter. That's too tight. 3's good. 8's a no-go. Good enough for me. Down here, too tight. 3's good. Yeah, 8 made it in. It snuck in. 8's a no-go. 3's a no-go. Christmas. Fight me. Amateur hour. I mean, literally amateur hour. All right, now we try to not move this and tighten this. Of course, we'll check again afterwards. And can we slide a 4? I think I was saying 3 before. I meant 4 and 8. 4 still slides on both, though it's pretty tight on the exhaust valve, but that's okay. And 8 is a no-go. It's good enough for me. Let's get valve covers thrown back on there. Get some Earl put in there. I mean, as you can guess, I'm not changing the valve cover gasket either. All right, let's get our rewind back on. Oh no, shoot, I meant to check that car before I put the head back on. Amateur hour, I tell you. Oh my gosh. I could do this stuff in half the time if I wasn't just... What are you gonna do? You know, it's already on now. Am I gonna take it back off? No. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Some of you aren't gonna like this. Just once, I'm gonna dump a bit of the good stuff square in the hole before I ever even put the plug in. And then we're gonna take her outside and see if she'll bark. And if she'll bark, see what we have to do to get the carb up to snuff. But I'm willing to bet that there is a chance. Throw some more Earl in there, because if you remember, tain't got no Earl. I think that's the root of our issue in the first place. Every little bit helps, right? Now that it's precariously teetering, you don't need much. Willing to bet that's enough. Here we go. Yeah. Might actually be a titch high, but all right, Christmas, bud. I think we're gonna throw some fresh gasolina down there and see if she barks. I don't know. Alrighty, sorry about the wind. It just is what it is. We'll try to pump this guy up. See if that does anything. Wanted to go. Well, there you go, Buck. $14 lawnmower. Brand new. She barely even smoked. I think it's more smoking over here, burning off all the good stuff we spritzed all over the block down there. What'd that take? 3 pulls? Forget about it. They just threw this out. So there it is, friends. Murray lawnmower, Briggs Stratton, 500 Series E, from broken valve and seized valve guide, seized piston, for $14. We got her running. I probably have an hour of work into her now. I don't really need it, but I'll put her up for sale. Around here in the spring, a running lawnmower is worth $100. Easy. So keep it for the winter. I'll do everything to winterize it. If you haven't seen our video on how to winterize small engine, link up there in the corner. We got plenty of other stuff. If you guys are digging the small engine stuff, this is what Eric and I do this time of year. So what people do is the lawnmower that they swore they were going to fix or stop working halfway through the summer, they put it out on the curb, and then Eric and I drive up. Here's what we picked up yesterday. This beautiful Toro right here. One of the big boys. I'll tell you, the guy had it up for free. He said, yeah, man, it just stopped running mid-run. I put fresh gas in it, I put a new spark plug in it. It was beyond my ability. We popped this cover off on these Tecumsas. The main jet is in that bolt on the bottom of the bowl. We popped that out, and it's crustier than a crustacean, crustier than this Dodge over here. So we're gonna clean that carb out. This thing's gonna clean up real nice. So we may do a video on that. Let me know if you'd like to see that. And then a snowblower like this is worth like 300 bucks. Yeah, easy. Especially if you wait until a storm's coming the night before a storm. This thing's got dual diff locks. I mean, this was probably a $1,200 unit when he bought it. Just threw it out. I tell you, I don't understand, man. Small engines are easy. Just fix them. You saw that. What, I use 3 wrenches in an hour of my time, and I'm an idiot. I'm a complete monkey with a toolbox. Imagine what a competent person can do. Anyway, let me comment down there in the squawk boxes. Let me know what you think about this video and my process and everything else. As always, we'd love to hear from you. If you like the video, that's just common sense. Go over on Etsy and check it out. We released our Jeep Ugly Christmas sweater last week, and they've been selling like crazy. People seem to like them. Go check it out on Etsy. That link will be down there in the description. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.